We need critical thinking, but siasa ni mingi. Wanachapa mdomo mingi, but hawafanyi kazi. Wanataka watu chape, tunyamaze, watu tupendane, men hawatuwezi. We need to make a choice before we all suffer. If we put our voice together, these chains we go shatter. Youth, they have the power that we not yet discover. Youth, they have the power that we not yet discover.
I'm Ikalangile with Friends of Lake Turkana. We're a community-based organization. Our main focus is ensuring basically environmental, socio-economic justice within the Greater Turkana Basin. Our areas of focus are natural resource governance, environmental justice and community participation and community rights. And the way we do it is ideally through policy advocacy, day-to-day community engagement, but creating platforms where communities engage with the powers that be, but also within themselves.
Consent, yani uhuru wa kufahamishwa kabla ya kufanya maamuzi.
Mimi naitwa Dennis Ejore. Mimi ni student nafanya social work. Alafu for a living mimi hufanya music. Sometime alafu script writing pia. Nataka ni introduce group yenye mbele yenu. Kwa ujumla mtakuja kuwa meet baadaye wengine kiperform. Actually kuna trainings zenye FOLT imekuwa ikitu engage nayo ku perfect our skills. Imekuwa tukiget trainings from some members from the National Theatre wanatoka Nairobi. Wanakuja wanatupatia skills. So imetu take almost kitu, I think 2 months or 3 months. It's been a long one, lakini mwisho the preparation now for this show will take almost 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
The work that we're doing through the support of Trocare, through the UK Expo work, is really to provide a space and a platform for communities to engage. So the public participation platform is really various innovations where we can get communities to engage within themselves, one, but also with the corporations, that is the oil companies, and with the government officials. Initially was a focus on the county government only, but then over time you're seeing communities asking questions to county government which are deflated to a national government presentation. So whether it is, how do we get agreements, how did the company access our lands, those sort of questions. While it's to tire where there is national government and county government, we've realized there's a very easy space for county government to deflate it and say, okay, it is national government. So we're now increasing that base between cooperation, so the civil society to engage with the government and the oil company, communities to engage with government and oil companies, but also allowing communities to go into decision-making spaces that are not necessarily planned. So if it is a budget-making process, being able to bring communities into those spaces where they can link these resources, because the biggest argument around the oil revenues is how do we get this revenue, so that communities can understand that when the revenues come, it is highly unlikely it will come in the form of cash, but in form of a budget process. So how they can start to integrate with the budget process, so that at that time, whether it's going to be 2022, 2023, they can start to understand how best they can position themselves.
The challenge is the whole idea of communities understanding the rights, and now we have offered the platform to sort of raise their voice. And one of the ways we've done that is through a creative piece. So the Turkana community loves song and dance. They have something called Edonga. We had an audition, had a group of creative arts. So not only Edonga, we had other rappers, we had drama skit people, actors, we had artists, literally wachoraj as they call themselves, and also guys in photography. So we brought that whole creative group together and made a creative piece that now has Edonga, has drama, has dance, and this is both contemporary dance and traditional dance. And this idea was now to communicate the message. And this message was not only to the urban folk, but also to the rural folk. The skit in itself is almost exclusively in Turkana, but there are elements of Swahili and elements of some 2-3 English words. But the idea now is to have this broken down to the biggest audience is the Turkana, who is affected by the whole idea of extractives, for them to understand it at their local level, the daily conversations they're having, the daily struggles that they're going through, nothing out of the ordinary. So it's something that is very relatable.
We looked at our data, the number of young women who are participating actively in the public participation spaces, in the conversations, were very few. And so we started to think about innovations. How do we bring young women who would be singing and dancing and an artist and are just free spirits trying to identify themselves? How do we bring them into this space for public participation? So we then learned to bring in young people who are doing creative arts, who use, drama and theatre, and then integrating to we're an oral community. So using that aspect of oral communication and song and dance to bring in the larger conversations to the communities.
One of the things I think the skit has is the whole discussion of a lady being wood, and the whole African nature of the bride price idea and that whole bit. And now that is being incorporated to that bigger discussion on the resource governance. It happens African, why we never let our girls go just like that. There's always a negotiation bit. And that's how it has always been in any of our resources. We tend to negotiate. So why is in this particular matter on oil and gas, why are we not negotiating? And then also putting up the whole idea of backstopping. So who does it stop with? Does it go to the community? Does it go to the company? Does it go to the leadership? So everyone has a responsibility. Everyone has a role to play.
75%.
We attract quite a bit of attention by the virtue of we're in a truck and we're making noise. So when the children are built, the mothers wonder where our children going. The mothers now come and join. Then the wazes eventually ask, okay, so where are our people? So slowly they follow the noise. One of the ways they start is by opening up the floor. So there'll be an icebreaker sort of session. If there's any artists within that we may or may have not reached, is given an opportunity to present their art. So if there's any rapper, if there's any singer, if they have their music there, we give them that opportunity.
So sahi ningependa thank FOLT for hii opportunity wametupatia sisi kama ma youthman, sisi kama ma artists, na all partners wenye wako engaged na FOLT. Tunawapenda sana manze. This is an opportunity yenye hatungelenga. Na we thank you for empowering the youth. We thank you for giving them a voice. Na kuwapatia hii chance pia waende wa educate wase wao wenye waliwacha huko Ocha hata kama sahi wako Tao. So FOLT, this is a vote of thanks from all of us as artists.